Hello, Patty here, the country wife from Vermont. Today we're having technical difficulties, a variety of issues. I'm going to mention the first one is that I got a new case for my camera, and I'm thrilled with the case because it has a kickstand on it, which I didn't even know that such a thing existed, but I happened to see my husband had one that he's always had, and I never noticed it because he doesn't use it. And anyway, now I have it, but when I was using the new case to set up the camera, it called emergency people. So for all I know, police are going to come rushing in. I hope not. We've had that enough in the last few months because of forgetting to turn off the alarm system before we opened the door. Anyway, let's talk about health. And I have no idea if I'm in the view. I don't know. We're just going to do the best we can. This week, there were 2 doctor's appointments. Fortunately, they were for my husband. And the first one was a cardiology follow-up. Found out that the tests he had done showed he's perfectly fine. His heart is doing well. He's just old, apparently. And actually, he is getting there. Then the other one was a neurology appointment for the same reason, because of the fall he took a couple of months ago. And he said the same thing. He said, yep, looks like you're getting old. So anyway, but he said he'd have my husband come back again in 3 months just to check and make sure nothing had changed. Okay, and I've just heard a sound from the oven. I've got some banana bread muffins cooking, so I'll have to leap up and you'll see my dirty apron in a while, probably. Okay, so that's the health issues this week. My blood sugar had been up earlier this week. Oh, the good news is that I had blood work done on Monday, and my A1C was way down. So my endocrinologist, when I see her next month, should be happy this time. It's still not good, but it's way down from last time. Okay, as far as that's the end of health, about organization, I'm still working on organization. I will be working on organization until the day I die, if that is 50 years from now. But this time it was outdoors. We've had some, I think they're called southern dewberries. They're pricker vines, and they take over the world. And a couple of days ago, I said, okay, I can't stand it anymore. I've got to go out. Even though it's 98 degrees, I went out and I spent 5 minutes and I yanked up quite a few. And I put them on the cement driveway so that the sun could kill the heck out of those guys. So there's still a lot more to go, but I will get to them. But it made me happy to do that. Okay, now as far as crafting this week, I didn't have a big batch of things that I completed. Oh, blast, there's one thing. 1 second. Okay, well, here I come back again, and I shut off the oven because the tops of these banana bread muffins look like should be close to done. Okay, so here's the thing I went back to get. I showed you a week or 2 ago that I started a granny square blanket, a rectangular blanket. And then, here's another thing. Then I, at my husband's request, if you can believe it, he thought that I should buck up a little and get highlights in my hair. Now I have this wonderful white highlight in the front, which I absolutely adore. My grandmother McIntosh had pure white hair. She was so beautiful. And my mother-in-law also had pure white hair. And I was longing for that to happen. Well, I've got these little stripes, and that's better than nothing. So I will tell you that, so I did make an appointment with the girl who 2 years ago, he had a bug about this too, and so I did it, and I didn't like it. I mean, it looked okay, but when I went swimming, my hair was like straw, and I hated it. And so last year, I said, okay, that's it. I'm not going to go back again, because I'd gone, I guess I went twice. Well, I adore this man, and he doesn't ask very much of me, and so I am going to do my hair. Anyway, it's been a year, a little over a year since I saw the girl who did my hair before, and since then she's had a baby. And I thought, oh, that's great. So I was about not quite half done on this blanket, and I decided that I would do some more work on it and see if I could get it finished. And I decided that this was good enough. It's barely a rectangle, and I didn't think that the new yarn that I was adding to it was going to be enough to make it very much longer. So I said, okay, we'll just start the decreasing. So this is that corner to corner blanket that Hooked by Robin did, and it's very easy. There's a lot of mistakes in it, though it's hard to believe you could have mistakes in a granny square because there's only 3 double crochets and all, but there are, and but it looks okay to me, and I'm going to call it good, and I'm going to take it to Hannah and give it to her for her little baby Ollie, and it's going to make me happy. And I've used up 2 skeins of yarn, and it'll be out of the house. And the baby can use it, or maybe their dog can use it. I don't know. Either way, it's fine. So that I finished. I hope I showed you the 2 emotional support chickens last week. I know I showed you one. I don't know if I showed you the one I did with my hand spun yarn. I hope I did. But it's too late now because I sent that off in a box to our daughter. Actually, I sent a big box with a variety of things. This was part of my organization this week. Every time I would see something that was good, but I wasn't using and didn't want it here, I put it in the box for Megan. And so she's going to get a box on Monday, and she's going to be very surprised with all the variety of things. For example, probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I got souped up about crumpets, baking crumpets, or cooking crumpets. And because they're much softer, the dough is much softer than English muffins, you have to have them in a little, what do you call it? A little template, a round circle of thing. And it had a round lid on top with a handle, so you could do it, and then you could flip them. Anyway, I had 8 of those, 2 boxes of 4, because I thought, well, if our children ever come to visit, I could make those and there would be enough for everybody. Well, then since then I've stopped baking, mostly because it just makes me fat because I eat it. So now I've sent it to our daughter, and there are other things that I put in that box that are going. I put a nice linen jacket in there, or linen-like jacket. I don't know if it's actually linen. I didn't look at it. It was actually given to me some time ago, and I hadn't used it. Anyway, there were other things, some craft things, I made a whole bunch of beautiful envelopes to go with some cards that I'd made using jelly prints. Anyway, so they're now out of here. I think that I showed you maybe 2 weeks ago, I showed you a square felted basket that I had made. I put that in the mail to my sister. That made me happy, with some seeds, some lavender seeds and some other seeds, so she could have some fragrant plants at her house. And the final box that I sent out was the placemats for a wedding gift. I sent them to my friend and told her to look them over and see if they were worth sending to her daughter. And if not, she could put them in the chicken cage. And I was perfectly happy because it gave me joy to make them. Actually, it gave me joy thinking about who they were going to. And I have no strings attached to those. Whatever happens to them, I'm happy. And they're out of here. So those are some finished things. And this week, I have some started and some finished things. We have a nice young mother in our church is not able to have pets at her house, not even fish. And she asked me if there's any chance that I could make her some fish. So this is the first fish that I made for her. I can't remember what this is called. It might just be called fish. But anyway, there's the first fish that I made. Then I thought, I didn't enjoy crocheting all that much, so I thought I'll find some knitting patterns. So I found a pattern for these fish that I wanted to felt. And so I used some wool yarn. So this is the Bartlett Yarns fiber. And this one was from, let me see, what is that place up in, boy, you can't see the eyes. Those guys are gonna have to put more eyes on this. This is a Canadian yarn. Can't think what it's called, but it's, I'll put it in the show notes in case you're interested. But it's a Canadian yarn. I love the yarn, but it didn't felt. Not all wool felts. And these, they didn't felt as much as I hoped they would. So, and I did them in the washing machine yesterday, and today I got out a brand new kitchen plunger that I had and a bucket, and I put in hot soapy water, and then I put some boiling water in also, and I used that plunger, and I plunged and plunged and plunged for about 6 minutes. And these are not fabulous, but they are more felted than they were previously. So I'm happy with those. And then I wanted to do another crocheted one, so I made this one, which is a different, obviously it's a different pattern than this one, and it's more semi-flat, a different fish. And then today, I wanted to, because there's 3 colors, this is cotton yarn, and I wanted to make some of the knitted fish, which are much more pleasant to knit, to create than the crocheted ones, at least for me. So I tried to knit a cotton one, but I was using my Chow double pointed needles. They're metal and they're fabulous needles, but the cotton slides off really quickly and easily and makes them hard to work. So I found some bamboo needles online, and they were $7, and I thought they're gonna probably be awful, but at least they're the size that I need. So I ordered them, and they came today, and I knitted this guy. He doesn't have eyes yet, but this one worked out pretty well. I think I'm gonna try to felt it. I know you can't felt cotton, but it might, with the hot water and the agitation, it might tighten it up a little bit. But I'm probably gonna make 2 more, so I've got these 2 colors so that it looks like there's a fish family. So anyway, those I wanna finish so that I can give them to my friend on Sunday. And they're gonna fill up a little box here, which makes me happy. Okay, so let me think. Another thing of interest, here's a little philosophical point. Something I am not good at is finishing jobs right now. For example, well, my husband came down to have some food because, you know, as I'm doing this, well, my watch has bitten the dust, so I don't know. Oh, I guess it's about after 6 o'clock. So he was hungry, and he came down, and I had used the last of the batter for those muffins that didn't fit into the muffin tins, and I cooked it in the microwave for 4 minutes. And then I put it on a plate, and he came down and he ate it. Well, normally, unless I had my wits about me and plenty of energy, I might just get up from the table and leave some of the things there. And I've decided now that I have got to do the pickup, cleanup right when an event is over, a meal is over, or when a load of laundry is done. I take care of it right away. It will make the house better. I call the house, actually, I use a word that starts with H, but and you can think of what that might be. It's a pig pen, but that is a different word. My husband says, don't call it that. I don't like that. And I say, okay, fine. Well, we don't like that it is a pig pen, so we're working on it, and I'm hoping to do better. Every week, I hope I can tell you at least one thing that has improved over the week. Anyway, so to get to the point of today, I had the tray. I think we have a Ninja something air fryer, and it has a tray in it. And I will not name the guilty party, but there are people in the house who think it's perfectly fine to cook things again and again and again without washing. And I've allowed that, and I realized lately that, you know, that the pan that's inside had some grunge on it. So I put it in the sink to soak, and it soaked for 2 days. And today I took the stainless steel scrubber, I scrubbed the heck out of it, and there's still spots that are not good, but it's better than it was. And I know that we can always get a new one if it bothers me too much, but I want to stop having that happen. So I want to start cleaning things up every day after every event. I'll let you know if any time that happens. Okay, so I've got a list here of things I wanted to talk about, and one of them is books this week that I purchased and that came. Here's one called Arctic Lace. It's called Knitting Projects and Stories Inspired by Alaska's Native Knitters by Donna Drew Chunas or something like that. I have been reading this as my bedtime reading, and it's very interesting. A lot of the book is about Alaskan women, and I think I'm up to about chapter 5. And we're still looking at that. So I guess chapter 6 is, well, it talks about Kiviat yarn and other yarns, and the lace knitting workshop doesn't happen until chapter 7. And I'm ready to read it. It talks about musk oxen and all that. Okay, so that's very interesting to me because I have a mind to someday do some lace, and this is inspirational to me. Another book that came is Natural Kitchen Dyes by Alicia Hall. I am thrilled with this. It says, make your own dyes from fruit, vegetables, herbs, and tea, plus 10 eco-friendly craft projects. I think that sounds fun. I've been having a lot of fun with natural dyeing in the last year or so, and with solar natural dyeing. So this book is helping me. It's already told me a whole bunch of things about using avocado pits, and since a lot of my friends have been saving them for me, I now have quite a few, and I can can do it. My plan was to be able to make pink dye. We'll see. Okay, so now, this is close to the end. We had last week at our Tour de Fleece group, we did fractal spinning. Now, fractal spinning was very fun. It's where you take a braid of fiber and you divide it lengthwise into several sections. And I'll show you. I've got a Corriedale mix, which is 1.2 ounces. And our teacher is fabulous. She's just so here is this beautiful fiber. Beautiful fiber. So if you're going to do fractal spinning, so this is thick. So what you do is you pull it apart. So in this case, you do half of it, and then the other half you do in half again, or in quarters, or sometimes you do it in thirds, and then the other 2/3 you divide in half, so you've got 6. Anyway, so you pull the fiber apart like that. So that's the beginning, and then you pull another apart, some more of it. And then I'm going to pull it apart again. And then I'm going to start with this pinky and purpley at the top, and I turn it into a little nest. And where's that pinky purple? There it is. So you start at the same place. So the idea is that now you've got these 4 pieces where you only had 1 before, and you spin the first piece. You just spin it right down, one color after another, after another, after another. And then you spin the divided out parts, and then you ply them both together. So you've got two strands, 2 singles they're called, and you ply them together, and they make a beautiful yarn. Now I have the yarn from last week, and I have absolutely no idea what I've done with it. Tomorrow we're going to do marling, and that will be interesting. So anyway, so that's that. But this week I learned, someone was talking about dizzing your fiber. And I like the idea of dizzing. A diz is usually a handcrafted, oh yeah, there's that. It's a handcrafted circle or piece of wood, or it could be anything, ceramic, that's got holes in it, and you pull the fiber through that hole, often off combs that you have combed fiber into, and it turns it into roving like this. But I have a hard time. This is actually, it turns out this is probably roving, but it is more towards the combed top. So anyway, so in order for me to spin things in a more consistent way, I learned that I could use this diz. Now I made my own diz, which is a button. It's got little itty bitty holes in it. And I take a little bit of the fiber and I pull it through. I haven't done this to test this and see if I can do it with this fiber, because, you know, why would I do that? Anyway, okay, so there you go. So now it's pulled through. But if I pull it out a little bit, I can pre-draft. And I found this week when I was pre-drafting some of my yarn like this, it pre-drafted into a lovely light fiber. And when I used it upstairs to spin on the electric spinner, It went beautifully. So here I am, I'm pre-drafting. So you give a little tension with your right hand and you pull it through with your left. And you can see that what is happening is that fewer of the fibers are there. You see how nice and light they are? And that means that you have less fiber in your yarn. And my dream is to someday be able to spin, spin fingering weight yarn so I can knit my own socks. Well, from my own spun fiber. It'll be a while. But anyway, so that's that. And then you see how light and airy and fluffy this is. And when I finish this and spin it, it's gonna spin like a dream. So I am very happy about that. So that's using a Diz, and this is a homemade Diz. Didn't cost me anything because I got it on clearance a year ago. It was in my button box. So that is pretty much it. I've just been talking and talking and talking. I haven't asked you how you are. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are having good luck with your health, that you are making progress with your health, and also that organization is going well for you, and that any things that you are doing, any hobbies or interests that you have that bring you joy are actually doing that and are bringing you joy. And I hope that you have a wonderful week coming up. And so I will close by saying thank you so much for listening. Please send me notes. And if you think that I ought to put a border of some nature around this blanket, please leave me a note to that effect or email me to that effect, and I will do it, because I have another week before I have the hair job done. Anyway, so thank you for watching. Be well. So I hope everything goes well in your family, and know that I think about all the kind people who watch the video and wish you well. So do good, be good. Let's do it now together. Thank you so much. Bye for now.